In a world of nanocap stocks, there is one stock that refuses to die. Desolated by the sands of time, with each candlestick ticking lower and lower. At an all-time low of down 99.97%, Digital Ally says, move over penny stocks. I'm trying to literally become a penny stock. What's going on, guys? Hope you had a little bit of fun with that intro. I sure did. Just thought I'd bring some big energy for this stock because once again, it's at the top of our screener here when we're looking at nano cap stocks under the 500 million market cap. It's taking number one. And that's saying something because the actual market cap of this stock right now is $500,000. Yeah, you heard that right. The entire value, market capitalization, is $500,000 for Digital Ally. So something's clearly going on. We're going to talk about the company. We're going to talk about the products they offer. And we're just going to get right into it. So what is Digital Ally? Well, they are a video solutions company. They provide first responders, well, police forces, and all types of agencies these types of cameras that are just like chest worn, body worn cameras. They also have some, that's what these are. These are body cams, basically. They also have these, which are for cars, so you can see all around the car and what's in front of you. So, you know, it'll recognize if you fall asleep behind the wheel. It will make a sound, I'm sure. It will call your boss and tell them to not give you that raise you needed. It'll do all sorts of stuff, right? And it's interesting because nowadays, it's a necessary thing to have because with, pedestrians nowadays recording everything, police officers need to record everything for evidence in case like some crazy cool shit happens, what if some cool shit happens? You got to be able to see that stuff, so that's why they have these body cams, and that's basically what they do. That's the biggest part of who they are. Now they do have some other products. They are also let me take a look here, back up. They have like healthcare, as well as also they have an entertainment company, which I'm drawing a blank on the name. Let me find it real quick. Custom Entertainment. They offer like entertainment for like festivals. They have one coming up, the 2025 Country Stampede Festival. So that's a subsidiary of Digital Ally. So they do benefit. They have that company under Digital Allies. They profit from them. So what's going on with the stock? Why am I bringing it up today? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is actually looking a little green. They are up 17% in the past 5 days, and in the past 1 day, they are up 13%. So it looks better in this chart right here. So you can see it's at 9 cents, 9.5 cents, was down to like 7.9 cents, and this is just in 1 day. In the past 5 days, it had a big run in that first day, but since then, I mean, it's pulled up to that 9 cent mark from a low of 7.6 cents. So it is making some gains, which is shocking to me, but also not really shocking. It's shocking because, once again, the market cap of this stock right now is $500,000. But it's also not shocking because this is like, a wet dream for shorts and people who want to, pump and dump and stuff like that, because of how little it takes to make this thing move with how small the value of the price is. So it is fairly diluted right now because they also did announce, just 10 days ago, a $15 million public offering. How they were able to raise 15 million with a market cap of $500,000, I have no idea. But by golly, they did it. They freaking did. These guys are like the cockroach of NASDAQ right now. They're just going to town on NASDAQ. They're taking all sorts of Um, I don't know how they're doing it. They're honestly like NASDAQ is trying to drop a nuke on these guys, and they're like Twinkies or cockroaches. They just don't die. They're just impervious to anything. It's actually beautiful. Like I mentioned at the start of this video, down 99.97%. It's really sad, actually. I know I'm laughing a lot, but it is sad because this company actually did have a lot of promise. But I also don't feel that bad because I know that the company of Digital Ally is making so much money on the backs of shareholders. That's what a lot of these penny stocks do, unfortunately. They don't care about their shareholders. Why else do you think that they're generating $15 million for themselves while diluting the value of shareholders and just dumping on them? It kind of makes me sick, to be honest, because, people put their hard-earned money, trusting into companies, and then they pull these kinds of schemes, yet they have the audacity to say strong sales, new innovations. Okay, if your sales are strong and your business model is working, you don't need to do things like, creating shares out of thin air and selling on your stockholders. I know that's a strong take. Maybe you guys disagree with me. I think in some cases it is necessary. Lots of R&D companies out there, research and developing companies, they need to be able to make some type of value from their stock. That's why they have a ticker. It's why they have a stock, right? To make money on it. And shareholders understand this is for the greater good of the company. But when you have a company like this that's been around years and years and years and years and years, I mean, like I've been saying from previous companies that I've talked about on this channel, at some point, you got to just think, hey, maybe my business model isn't good. Maybe it doesn't have the right amount of. Maybe I'm not putting my value in the right areas for my company. But again, what more can they do? They're probably going to get delisted soon. They're 4 months in past dropping below $1. I believe that they dropped below $1 in early November. So we're coming up in March. Very soon, they will be 4 months under NASDAQ's minimum $1 bid price, which, as you guys may know, they have 180 days. So they may not. There's a possibility that by May, they just outright get, delisted, and therefore they would probably be bankrupt because they're not going to be able to raise capital like this anymore. So maybe they're trying to squeeze the last bit of juice out of the lemon before it disappears completely. I don't know. Again, I know I'm pretty critical of the stock. I just also feel for shareholders that, they see, what these companies are doing, and they see, oh, strong sales, innovations. Yeah, it seems like a great time to buy in. You forget about it for a few months, come back, and you have no money. So, I mean, of course, these are penny stocks, right? These are literally the most volatile, most risky investments in all of the stock market, right? It's these really tiny market caps. That's why NASDAQ has these delisting rules. They're not wanting to promote companies that legitimately can't keep their head above water. I mean, the stock market it's a cutthroat environment. There's so much competition out there. I know I just went on a tangent there. I just wanted to explain where I'm coming from there. Let's talk about the numbers because that's where things get a little interesting for me. So Digital Ally essentially has had, pretty good operating revenue. They really haven't taken, too big of a hit. I will give them that they've increased it a lot since 2019 from 10 million to now, where they're probably going to be close to 28 million by the end of the year. Again, this is only like 9 months here because we don't have the next earnings report till I want to say I think it was end of March or early April is when Digital Ally will announce their last earnings report from the last quarter of 2024. So they're at 21 million in the 9 months, where they'll probably be pretty close to their 28 million. Now, whether or not they're going to beat 2023, we don't really know. They potentially could, But even with that, they're still going to be lower than they were in 2022. I think that's a big reason why we could see why there's been such a big sell-off, honestly. But that's just one thing. I mean, also we have to take a look at the fact that they are diluting this stock pretty heavily. For a while there, they weren't really doing too much. I mean, of course, this is a huge dilution, right? Going from 1 million to 2.5 million is, 2.5 times the amount of shares. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, it's becoming quite diluted, especially from where they were, in 2019. So that is obviously not so good. On top of that, they don't have any cash. They're negative 8 million. Probably not now with the 15 million. They just gotten the direct offering. Same case for the EBIT. Let's take a look at the balance sheet where we can see their assets versus liabilities. Their assets have dropped a lot. I mean, they were up to 82 million in 2021, down to 32 million. Again, a huge reason why we're seeing a plunge in the value of the company. Their liabilities, which is their overall obligations of how much they owe, long-term and short-term, it's only increased, really. I mean, it's basically the same since 2024 that we're going to see in 2025. They're at 35 million from the last report. And this number's only gone up. So again, a huge reason why the value is dropping, and that is why shareholders' equity is in the negatives right now when it was up to 55 million. So these are not good. These numbers are pretty abysmal. It's not what you want to see. It's showing, you can blame it on a lot of factors, but when it comes down to it, they're just unfortunately not anywhere close to being a company that can basically hold its head above water, let alone thrive. It's just not looking good. Again, I mean, it's like a short term, like day trader's paradise, right? You see it dip down 7 cents, it pumps up to 9 cents, you make a 20% gain and you sell it. You can do that 5-6 times a day. Now, there's going to be a time when it doesn't go back up to that 9 cent mark. And that's when the 99.97% all-time low comes into play, because there's ultimately going to be less people buying it over time because the financials are bad. I don't really have too much else really to say. They don't have a lot of news reported. Again, just, NASDAQ notifications, direct offerings. There's just, unfortunately, it's just a beat down stock, and I don't really have too much positives to say. I hate to say it. It looked like it had some promise when I was doing some research. Like, I mean, it hit. No, this is back in 2007, so never mind. When I was looking at the chart, I was like, hey, it did good at one point. Yeah, 18 years ago. I mean, I guess you could also call this a pretty nice increase, where it went from 64 up to 350. Wow. Yeah, they 5x'd in 2014. Since then, it's not been so good. They were pretty cutting edge back then. I bet they were one of the few players of video solutions for these big agencies. But nowadays, I just think it's too easy for agencies to do their own camera stuff and get cheaper contracts. I don't know. It seems like it could have been interesting, but that was a long time ago. Let me know what you guys think of Digital Ally. And also, I did want to mention the shareholders percentage. The insider shareholders percentage of the stock is only 5%. So not even the people that are on the inside of the company really believe in the future of Digital Ally. Usually you want to see a high percentage. 5% means they're basically completely out of the stock. Why do they want to own it if they're going to keep diluting it? Anyways, enough negativity. I would love to see this miraculously turn around, as I want to see everybody gain from stocks, but unfortunately there's going to be winners and losers. That's how the stock market is. But again, let me know what you guys think of this stock. Comment down below if you guys were part of the stock, or if there's something I missed that you guys believe in about it, because I'd love to hear about it. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. It's been Cameron on Broke to Brokers YouTube channel. Peace and butt grease. See you guys.